Hi! It's currently 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday, and I am working on my site plan because my final review is on Tuesday. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? Okay, so I wanted to talk about architecture school. A lot of people had a lot of questions about architecture school, and I thought, why not just answer them now? Exciting. I'm drinking coffee in a wine glass because I felt like it. I also had no more clean glasses. So a lot of people had questions about like the process of applying to architecture school. Maybe I should tell a little backstory. I have been wanting to do architecture since the beginning of time. I don't remember when I like completely decided that like architecture is gonna be the thing for me. Yeah, I decided to do architecture in middle school. I think I went to like a camp or something, and that's basically history. So I decided to do architecture and I never turned back. So I ended up applying to 15 schools, all for architecture. And I think I ended up getting into like more than half of the schools in the architecture programs that I applied to. And a lot of it had to do with my portfolio and my essays. I did a lot of like architecture related activities in high school, whether that was like shadowing at firms. I also went to like a 4-week summer camp or whatever. And like if you want me to do a process on like applying for internships and all that fun stuff, like this video, comment down below if that's what you want. Overall, for my portfolio at least, I gathered a lot of pieces from AP Art and from the summer boot camp thing that I went to. I did a lot of mixed media, so there was some drawings of buildings, I had photographs, paintings, I had models that I had made, just a lot of different things. And I think variety is going to be your best friend in portfolios and stuff. But yeah, let me see if there's, because a few people asked questions about it. Okay, so someone asked, did you submit a portfolio when applying? Yes, I did. I said that earlier. If so, any tips on what to put in it? I think my biggest tip is probably make sure that it reflects your personality. Don't do things just for the sake of doing them. Put pieces that you enjoy, that you are like, wow, like I really love this piece in it. And also okay, I'm gonna like shout out my art teacher from high school. Make a shit sandwich. Poshman, what's a shit sandwich? Put your best stuff basically at the beginning or the end, and then put your like, I don't know how I feel about it in the middle, because they go through portfolios so fast that it's like to look through all of your pieces. So put your favorite stuff in the beginning and your favorite stuff at the last part, and like put your like, I don't know how I feel about this. These are kind of like filler pieces here and there. That's what I did. I really like my photography and my model making skills. And like there was a couple of buildings that I drew that I really liked. So I put that at the beginning and at the end. And then in the middle, I had some mixed media and some stuff I had done in high school that I was like, they're good, but like the other stuff is definitely better than that. So I made a shit sandwich. I think that's my biggest tip. And get someone to look it over for you, whether that's like a parent or a sibling or a teacher or something, just to like review what you've put in your portfolio is really, really important. I definitely benefited from that a lot. I showed my art teacher my portfolio like millions and millions of times, and I definitely think she got sick of me by the end of it. But I would say definitely make a shit sandwich when you put your portfolio together. I put my portfolio together in Google Slides. It doesn't really matter what you use, as long as you can export it as a PDF and it looks somewhat put together. That's my tips on portfolios. But yeah, if you just put whatever media you like. This person said that they do a lot of pictures and photography. Put photography, honestly, like as long as it showcases your ability to like have an artistic eye for things, I think that's like the most important thing that they're looking for. Someone asked what the name of my laptop is. I use a Lenovo LE. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. It's the Yoga. It's a 15-inch. I love it. It does amazing things. It's super nice. I've heard a lot of good things about the Windows Surface Pro, I think, the 15-inch one. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Definitely for architecture school, it makes it a lot easier if you get a PC versus a Mac, because a lot more programs run on PCs, even like things that are like just for Mac. You could still find like a PC version and it'll run just fine. So highly recommend PC over Mac. Oh yeah, so someone asked about like presentation for architecture school. So I'm actually preparing for my final review. It's kind of coincidence that I'm talking about presentations when I'm preparing for my final review. But you have studios that you take, and each term you'll have, depending on your university, but at least at the University of Oregon, you have a midterm review and a final review, and we usually have to pin up all of our work that we've produced, process work and stuff for midterm review, or there's like deliverables that your professor will give you ahead of time that kind of explains to you like, oh, this is what you're gonna need for midterm review, this is what you're gonna need for final review. So that's what I'm working on currently, is my deliverables. I have it on a sheet like this. It's a list of things that I have to have done for my final review. And what was really nice during the pandemic was that we didn't have to print anything, so we just had to pin it up on like Miro, which is a program. Pin it up on that and we were set. Where did my pen go? Now that we're in person again, we have to print stuff, and it's kind of annoying because I haven't printed anything before. I like to do a lot of hand media. Yeah, also like if you're worried about drawing and stuff, you will take media classes in architecture school. Like it's a requirement for you to take a media class your freshman year. So don't even worry about like if you're like, I don't know how to draw, blah, blah, blah. You will take a media class, and I found it very useful. I really liked our media class that we took. Presentation wise, especially with architecture school, you learn to talk about how you present your work and how you're able to sell the work to your jury or your reviewer and stuff, and just make it seem like it's the most amazing thing in the entire world. That is like, I feel like 50% of architecture is, yes, you have to create really good designs, graphic style has to be really good, but if you can't sell your work, if you can't talk about your work, it will make your life so much harder, because reviewers will start like pointing out things that you're like, oh, yes, I know that, but like it's there in this and you just haven't explained it properly, and they will be like, oh, you shouldn't have done this, you should have done that, blah, blah, blah. Like one of my reviewers, I didn't explain something properly, and the entire 20-minute review, he just narked on me on that one thing that I didn't explain properly. So they have a tendency of doing that and just focusing and zoning in on one thing. So I like to, let me show you. This is my architecture notebook, but I have like a page where I've written like notes and notes and notes about what, like, these are my notes for just my presentation that day, what I want to talk about, what points I want to hit on, and I'll practice it in the mirror sometime, or like talk to myself about it like in the shower and stuff, just so I can like get it down and know what I'm presenting. So I highly recommend doing that. I was actually really bad at talking when I came from high school to university, and I got like, it's a growth. Like I'm not the best at it still. There's definitely a long way for me to go when talking about my work and stuff, but I think definitely architecture school has helped a lot. Also the fact that like critiquers will critique anything. You need to learn how to respond to criticism, and that is like huge, because you can take a very negative approach to criticism where you're like, this professor hated my design, this jury, this reviewer, blah, 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 I don't like them at all, and actually be able to listen and be like, okay, I see what you're saying, definitely understand the reason for that, and I will include that in a next rendition of it. And it's like, oh yeah, definitely, cool, thank you so much for telling me that, super great. And you take it as a learning experience. That's huge. Very much disconnect yourself from your work. And it happens, like you will feel like, oh man, like I feel like they're narking on me, or they're making fun of me, or they're like critiquing me as a person, but no, they're just critiquing the work that you've produced. And one term you might produce like stellar work and your viewers must like literally will love it, and one term it's not something that the reviewers would want. So the baseline is that your professors, the people teaching the studio, will give you the best critiques and reviews on your design, because they are the ones that have seen it progress over the entire term. Therefore, they will know what the project is about, what your intention is behind the project and stuff. I drew one line in this entire conversation, like one singular curve, and I have to draw like 30 of them. I shouldn't make these videos when I work, because then I get distracted, and that's not good, because I gotta finish this. But yeah, if you have any more questions, or if you want like help on internship, you want a video on how to apply to internships, blah blah blah, let me know. Like this video, comment down below any other questions you might have, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. Also, like, DM me, follow me on Instagram. A couple people have DM'd me about questions they have about architecture, and I try to respond as many as I can. If I don't respond, just remind me, be like, Posh, respond, like, please. I just had a question, I was just hoping you could respond. A lot of the time I just am scatterbrained, and I saw it and I was like, I need to respond to this, and then I completely forgot. So just remind me, no hard feelings. Good luck with application season. Let me know if you guys go to the University of Oregon. Hope I see you around campus. Yay! Okay, bye.